Back at the Corvallis Transit Center. I haven't been here for a while to take a bus out of town, really since August. But today I am. We are at the Albany station. We've been here before. Not the world's most dramatic journey, but it's been a hard winter, so I'm just glad to be somewhere. This is the Willamette River. I'm in Albany. And somewhat ironically, after months where I kind of was stuck in my home city and my home county, with a few exceptions, I'm now, after coming to another city in another county, I'm going to cross that bridge, and I will still be in Albany, but I will be in Benton County, in North Albany, which is the Benton County part of Albany, because in Oregon, a city can be divided between two counties. This is Thornton Lake. It's a swamp formed by a creek, and it's an interesting place. It's covered by water weeds of shallow, slow-moving water here. So this is the park, the Thornton Lake Park. There's a lot of pieces of land that are too small or too low or too scrappy to build on. So that's why this ended up as a park. The other side of the lake, more open water here. And now I'm continuing up this road. I've reached a traffic circle, and I'm going that way, westward on this road. So I've reached a crest of a mini hill. Ooh, look at FedEx and UPS next to each other. Will there be a battle? No, there won't. Okay, sorry for the interruption. Just walking down this road, reached a little hill, and ahead you can see a bigger range of hills in the distance, and those are the hills of the McDonald Dunn Forest where I was 2 weeks ago. That's pointing pretty much towards there. Right here is literally where the sidewalk ends, at least in that direction. It goes up a little bit that way. And this is the road that goes to Buena Vista and Independence, where we've been. And if I followed that road over there, probably end up near Camp Adair. So this is kind of the boundary between, what's clearly suburban developments and fields. And it's a pretty stark boundary. I don't know if this is created by an urban growth boundary or is this just where they stopped developing, but it's interesting to see. And even though it's a slight difference, for me there's a different mindset on a country road and a town road. That being said, I'm going to continue back towards Albany. But even in the part of Albany that's developed, the suburban part, we see big open fields like this, and it would be interesting to know if this is being kept for a reason, if this is still going to be a farm, if this is going to be a park or green space, or if it's just waiting to be developed like the rest of this. So one thing that should be mentioned about all of this is that in neighborhoods like this where you have some aspects of a rural environment, see that field right there, see those trees, then see the suburban developments, see how far that road goes up. You kind of have people wanting to have their cake and eat it too. And I'm not saying that in like a, judgmental way, maybe a little bit judgmental, but just as a matter of fact, you get people who want to live in a more open neighborhood and it has some amenities to it. There's more space, more trees, more green, but then also create a lot of traffic. That's sometimes more than others. You create roads like this. And part of this is because there are no retail businesses here. All of those are in the main part of Albany. And so everybody here for a couple miles around, anybody here wants a bagel, they have to drive 3 miles. So it creates a lot of traffic. So there's this aspect of people have this dream Let's all move to this nice, quiet place. Lots of green. And then it turns into something like this where there's cars speeding, you know. If I was a parent, I wouldn't want my kids playing or walking around. So I know this is not really an original statement to make, but this is just an example of it, that when people want to live in the country, what they do is they create suburbs. This is interesting and unexpected. In the distance, off to the northeast, I think we can see presumably Mount Hood. That could be Mount Jefferson, which is closer, but I think that's Mount Hood, and that's east of Portland, so that's a ways away, but it's very clear today. Even if that's Mount Jefferson, that's on the screen, that might look minuscule. I don't know. So I'm back at the traffic circle, speaking of things that are minuscule, and it's interesting because when I was planning this walk, and even when I was on it on that leg, this seemed like the meat of the walk from here to the end of the road. And this time, I just cruised right by on the way back. Seems it was just to the end of the block. Anyway, so I'm going back to Albany. I'm at the end of my trip here at the North Albany Park and Ride, waiting for the bus back to Corvallis. So two things here. One is logistical and easy to explain. I don't know if this is a county facility, Benton County, or City of Albany. In either case, they seem to have some resources because this is pretty well kept. Nice place. And the second thing, to me, the impersonality and immaculateness of a little hub like this, a little node, is comforting in a way that it's hard to explain. Since I've had a long day, I won't try to explain it, just mention that. Anyway, so I'm waiting here for another 10 minutes, and then I'm gonna get on a bus and go back to Corvallis.